What's going on, people? Welcome to the video. Today we're covering the much requested topic of how to grow on Instagram from zero or from scratch. So throughout this video, I'm gonna give you a guide that you can implement to make growing on Instagram from zero, from scratch, or from a very small following substantially easier and far faster. So on the note of being fast, let's get right into it. Let's help you grow. Let's do it. So going into 2021 and beyond, Instagram's not what it used to be. 5, 6, 7 years ago, you could just post content and expect to grow. It now requires a decent deal of thought, strategy, and a great deal of consistency, but it is 100% possible to still grow on Instagram going into 2021 and beyond. It will always be possible to grow. With that being said, though, it's really important to set yourself up for success by getting things started right and really putting yourself in a position to maximize your time and effort going forward. So that's where we're gonna start, is really setting yourself up and setting your account up for success. The first place to start with is figuring out who you are for. At the end of the day, Instagram is a value exchange platform. So if you're not providing value to a specific group of people, you cannot expect realistically to attract a following if you're not providing value. So that's the first place to start, is figure out what value you're trying to provide. It's gonna make everything substantially easier. A lot of people would classify this as a niche, or what niche that you're actually in. And I would agree that it is substantially easier for you if you have a niche, and it's gonna make growing substantially easier. And the reason for that is because it makes Instagram's job easier, because they can actually identify who you're trying to serve and then get that content out in front of them to help you grow. So if you're struggling with which niche you're in, I would say give this some thought and think about your value that you want to provide and who you're actually trying to reach out to and provide value to. So figure out which niche or niches that you are in. And then in addition to that, establish 3 to 5 brand or content pillars that are gonna make creating content substantially easier, and they align with your intended vision and your intended audience that you're trying to serve. For example, take my personal brand, the Ben Levitt brand, the social media strategist, who I am. My 3 brand pillars or value pillars are education in the form of social media content to help you amplify your presence and message on social media. Mindset and motivation. I'm a huge believer in a positive mindset and the implications that that can have on everything else that you do. And then the third is relatability. It's really important to me that all of you guys behind the camera, or behind the screen, sorry, understand that I'm just a dude. Anything that I'm doing, you could absolutely be doing too. And I want that to come through in my content. So understanding that those are my brand values and my pillars, and that's what I'm bringing my audience, it makes creating content substantially easier. And it also allows me to have a unified brand because I know exactly what I'm trying to say with my content. So pick your niche and establish 3 to 5 brand pillars. That's gonna get yourself started on the right foot. So at this point, you now know who you're trying to serve, you know what niche you're in, and you know what your content is going to be all about. The next thing you wanna do is optimize your account to actually convert people from visitors into followers, because the steps that we're gonna outline, that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna drive traffic to your page, but if your page isn't optimized, more of those people are gonna bounce, making your journey to growth substantially longer. So the next step is really optimizing your profile to convert to the ideal person. So an optimized bio consists of you leveraging all the tools that Instagram gives you to optimize your page for your ideal follower. So using every little thing you have at your disposal to really speak to that person, to attract their attention and keep it. So start with a username. You want this to be as concise as possible and also as obvious as possible as to what you're doing or who you are. The next thing you want to make sure to have is a great looking profile picture. Doesn't need to be anything crazy, but this is going to be something people see on a consistent basis. So you want it to be a solid representation of you and your brand. Make sure it's aesthetic, eye-catching, and really represents you and what you're trying to be about. The next thing you wanna make sure to have is an optimized bio to speak directly to your ideal follower when they come and do visit your profile. So whenever someone comes to visit your page, they're gonna be asking themselves questions subconsciously. So you wanna use your bio to answer them before they even have to ask them. So in your bio, in a very clean, concise, and aesthetic way, you wanna answer a few key questions that everyone's gonna ask when they come. First thing you want to answer is who you are. The next is who you are for, who you are trying to serve and improve their life through your content. And the third is why should someone follow you? What can they expect to receive from that commitment of hitting that follow button? You want to answer all these questions before someone even asks to ask, because it's going to increase the likelihood that they convert into a follower because you made that process seamless and you answered all their questions for them. And the final step you want to make sure to have optimized before we start doing the actions to drive traffic is you want to have at least 9 or so quality posts on the page. The reason for that is because if we drive traffic to your page, it doesn't matter if you have a great bio, if you don't show the proof of what you're actually going to provide, people aren't going to follow you. Not to mention there are so many bots and spammy people on Instagram. You want to do your best to show them that you are not that. So by having some content there for them to consume, to show them what they can expect moving forward, it's going to increase the likelihood that they convert with everything else that we've talked about previously. So have at least 9 quality posts that align with your brand pillars and brand values. All right, so now we have an optimized profile and we want to start driving traffic. But the issue is if we have no followers whatsoever, even if we checked every other box, the issue is people are looking for social proof, at least a degree of it. So we want to actually create our initial tribe and get some followers and some sort of sense of community on our page. So going into 2021 and beyond, I am still a big advocate of leveraging the follow for follow strategy when you're just starting out, but only when done the right way. So it's really important to understand that I'm not saying to do it like people used to do it a few years ago, which was follow 500 to 1,000 people a day, just hope that some of them followed and then unfollow everyone right after. That's super spammy. I instead want you to approach this from a far more genuine place and actually look to build relationships. This core tribe is going to be instrumental in your ability to actually grow, scale, and attract more like-minded people moving forward through your content. So you actually want to do this right with a ton of strategy. So I'd recommend only following 50 to 100 people a day using the follow for follow strategy and doing so in a very targeted manner. You want to be finding people that are either creating similar content to what you are creating or what you will create, or people who are interested in this kind of content. So you can find these kind of accounts through relevant hashtags. And again, I only do about 50 to 100 per day. And you want to make sure it's as personal as possible. With every person that you try to connect with and bring them into your initial tribe, make it super personal to them, their content. Take a few seconds, see what they're all about, and try to speak their language. It's just gonna make the conversion rate so much higher. And a huge pro tip to create very quick connection at a deep level is to send them a personal voice note or a video message in their DMs. When they can see it's you and that you're actually speaking to their actual content and you're not a bot, it's gonna allow you to create so many more relationships than if you were just to do this blindly with no actual real connection and communication between the two of you. So do this very targeted and personal version of follow for follow every single day, especially in the beginning. Again, only about 50 to 100, maybe a little bit more to build your initial tribe, and only unfollow people who don't follow you back or who aren't interested in joining your initial community. That's totally okay. Don't get discouraged by that. This is really a numbers game and we're looking for real, genuine connections. If they're not interested in that, that's okay. So by doing this genuine version of follow for follow, you're gonna slowly start to build your following, establish some of that social proof, and get your first few hundred followers. That will make it far more likely that random visitors will convert into followers as well, because they can see that there's a bit of social proof already there. So as we're doing the follow for follow and beyond, you then wanna start to drive as much traffic to your page and your content as possible by leveraging your actions in a strategic way. So the first thing that I recommend is going to pages or communities where your ideal follower already hangs out. If you're in this niche, you probably have an idea. There's probably a few accounts that automatically come to mind. What I'd recommend doing is going into their content. If they have a very large following, it's extremely likely that a lot of comments or questions go unanswered. What I want you to do is to go in there, again, from a very genuine place, and provide value and an answer to anybody who asked a question, but the original creator couldn't get back to them. This is gonna allow you to create real relationships, gonna drive a ton of profile visits, and allow you to connect one-to-one with a ton of people that are your ideal follower. But again, I cannot stress this enough. Come from a very genuine place, looking to provide value. It's gonna bring you the best results in the end. So as we're doing all this, be sure to be posting content as well and getting into that normal posting frequency. Instagram really likes people who post consistently, so make sure you're doing that throughout. So everything that we've talked to this point is gonna bring some momentum and some growth to your page. But this next step is something that you should be implementing, and you can implement every single day into a regimented strategy that will bring you growth in a very targeted way. And I cannot recommend it enough. So you've probably already heard about this strategy before. It was made famous by Gary Vee, and it's called the $80 strategy. It's a very effective way to drive hyper-targeted profile visits to your page and communicate at scale with your ideal follower. So essentially what the $80 strategy is to pick 10 relevant hashtags to your niche, and then every single day go into those tags, pick 9 posts, interact with them in the way of leaving a thought-provoking or valuable comment, or what Gary would call your 2 cents. So you have 10 tags, 9 posts each, so that's 90, and then you're leaving your 2 cents on each, which brings you to 180. Quick maths. Boom. So this strategy has been proven to be very effective. It's worked for all kinds of people, and it still works today, and it will going on into the future. The biggest complaint people have had is that it can be very time-consuming, one, and difficult to track 2. Luckily, I found a tool that solves that problem completely. It's a Chrome plugin that allows you to do the $80 strategy and track every single action all on one platform, all from your computer in a super streamlined user interface. The Chrome plugin is appropriately called $80. So I'm gonna make all your lives so much easier and make implementing the $80 strategy super easy by showing you how to use $80, the Chrome plugin. So let's hop into my computer and I'll walk through exactly how to set this up so you can do this every day to get growing on Instagram far faster. Let's go. All right, so we're in $80 right now. And I just gotta say at the beginning, I really wish this existed a few years ago when I was just starting out on Instagram. This would have saved me so much time and really expedited everything. So I'm super happy to share this with you. Full disclaimer, I am an affiliate for them now just because I've played around with it and I really, really believe in it. And I wholeheartedly think that this can help you out tremendously. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer before we get into it. And I'm excited to show you just how awesome this really is. So when you get in here, obviously I've made an account and I've downloaded the plugin, so I'm able to access this here. That's really important to note as well, is this is a Chrome plugin, meaning that's not a bot. It's not an external piece of software that's performing actions on your behalf. These are all user actions and Instagram views them as such, meaning that you're not gonna get into any trouble. You're not gonna get any action blocks or things of that nature, as long as you do things the right way, because this is not a bot performing actions for you. This is just a very streamlined way for you to do them in a far more targeted and time efficient way. So that's, just want to throw that out there because I know I'm going to get that question. So you don't have to worry about that with this, because you actually have to be logged into Instagram on your Chrome browser to even use it. And a Chrome plugin, for anyone who's unaware, is it's essentially like an app for your Chrome browser that allows you to use Chrome even better and for a specific purpose, with this being the $80 strategy, helping you to grow on Instagram. Just wanted to get all those disclaimers out there. So now to set this all up, this is what you'll see right when you get in there. I've already set up my 10 target tags and I'll show you how to do that. So if you come over to the left sidebar here and you click targets, you can set up your targets, and this is really where the magic starts. So like I said, you're gonna pick 10 tags to implement this strategy with every single day, and they should be relevant to your niche. Good thing here is you can change these up every single day, and I recommend experimenting over time with different tags, seeing if one works better for you or not, one group or different groups work better. Definitely recommend changing that up. The second thing you can target is locations. This is super valuable if, say, you're a bricks and mortar store or a business in 1 or 2 cities and you only want to target potential customers. This is super powerful because you can essentially make one of your targets just those locations to ensure that everybody who you're seeing and reaching out to and connecting with are a potential customer. Super powerful there. And the third thing for targeting is you can target profiles. So like I said before, it's really powerful to leverage other people's audience that they've already built that are your ideal follower. So you can also set that as a target as well. And I've already done that here. I've outlined some of my biggest competitors, if you will, or other people who are crushing it within my niche. So that's the first thing you're going to do, is set up your targets to then actually implement the strategy. Next thing you want to do is come back to posts, and to actually implement the strategy, it's super simple. What you're going to see right here is all the content that's showing up within the tag that you chose. All 10 will be here, as you can see. And you can also choose to change all of the stuff you're seeing here. So if you click this top right here and make it recent, obviously the change is going to be from the top performing posts within that hashtag to the most recent one. This is something I also recommend experimenting with, because with the top posts, obviously there's gonna be more engagement and more potential eyeballs overall. But with the recent content, it's gonna be a lot more one-to-one, because these people probably aren't getting as much engagement as the top people would. So definitely something I recommend experimenting with and seeing if one works better than the other. And then the other thing to play around with is your actual targeting. So as you can see here, you can do the tags, which we've already talked about. You can do location or profiles, and that will dictate what kind of content you're actually shown on your feed here. So then now to implement the strategy, it's super simple. As you hover over here, you're gonna see how many likes and comments it has. If you click it, it's gonna pull up to the actual piece of content. And then so you'll see these here. These are previous comments that I've already put. So you can repurpose comments to make this extremely fast for yourself. But I always advocate being very specific to each piece of content that you're actually doing. It's gonna really make this far more personal and far more effective. So let's see here. What I would do very quickly is 9 things losers say. Okay, I should essentially just quote from there, the recaption. I'll go through, read this really quickly and get a feel for it. Okay, so this is obviously about a positive mindset. So I would leave a valuable driven comment to try to further the conversation and get people to see my comment. So what I would say is a positive mindset is the ultimate life hack. Something as simple as that. Obviously, if you're doing this seriously, take a little more time, make it a little more personalized. But as you can see right there, it's now posted on the piece of content. And you can also like this. So if you click this heart right here, that's liking it actually on Instagram. If you click this little emoticon of a person, that follows them, and you can also share the post as well. So backing out of here, what you can see now is that this one is now over here. So I performed one of the actions. So one of my 92 cents, if you will, or comments. So you can go through and repeat this. I would go through and do all 90 actions for the day, every single day, and rotate through which tags you do, doing 9 or so on each of these to go across the whole $1.80 spectrum. So doing this every day is going to drive hyper targeted profile visits to your page. And then by doing everything the right way from your content, and because we've already optimized your bio, it's going to make it likely that they convert into followers that you can nurture over time with your content and staying connected with them. Another super cool thing about $1.80 is that they have groups, which is currently in beta and you can access now, which is essentially, I'm not gonna call it engagement groups because I don't believe in engagement groups. These are, I would say, like networking groups, or essentially this is a very targeted and fast way to implement that very genuine follow for follow, because they have different groups depending on what you're in. So say if you're running a meme page, you can come in here, and as more meme page creators join $1.80, you can see the members here and you can go interact with them and connect with them one-to-one and help support their content. And they do the same for you. And they have all different kind of niche groups, and these are growing every single day as more and more users join the platform. So it's a great way to connect and build your initial tribe as well, also through $1.80, which makes your life substantially easier. And it also gives you a great icebreaker because you know everybody else who's in here is also on $1.80, and they're also very aligned in their desire to grow on Instagram and help support other people that are doing the same. So they actually have a promotion going on right now where if you access $1.80 through the link in the pinned comment or in my description box and use the code NovemberGrowth, you'll get a free month, or the month of November, for free to access the paid version of $1.80 to access all of their different features. So I highly recommend you doing that. Access $1.80 through the link in the pinned comment or in the description box. Go through and use the code NovemberGrowth. Again, that link is an affiliate link, but by using that code, you will get free access to the paid version of the plan. If you're watching this after November and the promotion's unfortunately over, or if you just took too long to get to it, if you use the code BEN50 while going through that link, you'll get 50% off of your first month of the premium version of their service. So November Growth, if you're within November, if you take too long or you're seeing this after, BEN50 will still save you 50% off of $1.80 and the paid premium version of the plan. So if you implement all of these steps on a consistent basis and post consistent great content, I can guarantee you're going to grow, and all of these strategies will help you grow far faster. If you're looking for any more help in terms of optimizing your page, download my free Instagram checklist. It goes into a little more detail into how exactly to do that. So access that down below if interested. If you want some more growth advice on Instagram, check out this video I just linked right here where I outline some sneaky growth hacks that will help you to continue to grow on Instagram. And if you're looking for some help with your hashtags, check out this video down here. It's my most popular video ever. It's my hashtag research guide, and it's helped over 300,000 people level up on Instagram and reach more people through hashtags. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep crushing it. Watch some more videos. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you. Have a great day. Peace.